you went to visit a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, Peter Navarro, in jail, in prison, who's spending some time behind bars. He's got a new book out. It's called New MAGA Deal, and you can go to newmagadeal.com to check it out. But tell us how that went down. I see Navarro wrote the book with Bannon. Tell us how was your visit with Pete?
Listen, hey, for me, it's important to stick by those people who are steadfast and loyal. Peter Navarro was the architect of a lot of our China trade policies, probably why he's in prison. I mean, he's in prison for something that's literally currently under appeal because it has to do, with presidential immunity. And so he actually did that under principle. But because the Democrats control the DOJ system, they are going to lock up their political enemies. It doesn't matter if it's under appeal. And so for me, I went down there early Saturday morning, saw him in federal penitentiary. He's doing great. He looks like he's in good shape. I think they're treating him well there. But he's also the only person in this entire prison that's there for a misdemeanor. He also happens to be the only person in the entire prison who's not getting out early for good time. So you can see the weaponization. Again, it's not just Trump. It's across the board. So Peter was one of those guys, again, steadfast, loyal. He fought hard. That's why the Biden DOJ and the Washington swamp are going to go after him. They're going to make sure that people understand that there's a consequence for standing up to their machine and to that system. And so for me, I woke up early. I was 2 days out of knee surgery, and I still went down because I think it's so important for people like that to understand that they have the support of the MAGA base, of all of us. Peter's an absolute star, a rock star, a true patriot. And honestly, when we're there talking for an hour, his focus is, okay, as soon as I get out, I want to hit the trail. We got to talk about these things, these injustices. He wants to keep fighting. That's the spirit we need from everyone. That's what we have to nurture. So yeah, I recommend people check out his book, The New MAGA Deal. It's absolutely awesome, where he's delineating these things. And again, he was on my podcast right before he went into prison, and he's talking about the fight that's coming, not about himself. There's no woe is me or sympathy. He understands what he's up against. He understands just how badly the system is rigged, perhaps better than anyone, because he's actually doing the time for that. But just an upstanding guy. And again, I felt, just an absolute need to go down there because I support the people who stand with us and who fight alongside us.
Peter's been a loyal supporter, and it's really good on you for going to visit Peter as well. Again, newmagadeal.com. That's where you can find the book. Don, really good having you on. Very quickly, Michael Cohen. Can you talk about it? Do you know him? I know him, and I know he wanted to be part of that administration.
I know him well. I was the guy in the campaign being like, can we please stop putting this guy on TV? And then some of your former colleagues, they'd call me, hey, did you request to put him on TV? I go, no, not even a little bit. Oh, he's that's the problem. Michael Cohen will do anything for fame. He wants to be out there on TV. That was always the thing. He felt scorned that he didn't become White House chief of staff, which is literally laughable. I mean, anyone who was there, who understood what was going on, like that was never even on the table. So now he's, I guess, hawking a reality show and merch. So, that's the star witness, someone who literally lost his law license for lying. He's been referred back to the DOJ. I don't think Biden DOJ is going to do anything because they want him to be a star witness, against Trump in this political persecution. But the Republicans found 8 more instances, I believe, of him perjuring himself, literally lying before Congress. It's just a double standard. If I'd have done that in my 50 hours of testimony in their sham, Russia hoax trying to go after myself and my father, I'd be in prison right now, but he gets to be the star witness. So you're hearing the words of a literal convicted liar, someone who served time for doing these things, and yet in the media, no one even believes, he must be telling the truth now. I mean, he's lied about everything else throughout his life. You remember the history all too well. Never met a camera he didn't love. The problem is he was no good at it. So, I think, unfortunately, it's just a severe case of bitterness and Trump derangement syndrome and trying to milk what's left of, I guess, his 15 minutes just being an anti-Trumper. So I was just sort of following the testimony offhand in the background. And I mean, he actually comes off worse than Stormy Daniels, which is sort of hard to believe. That was what we'd call, let's say, a major letdown for the prosecution and for the Democrat Party apparatus that's going after my father.
Yep, we did see Trump come out and fist bump at the break, so he must be happy about what's going on inside. Don Trump Jr., Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Eric.